Extra precaution down there when we're driving down and it's a one-score game. Yeah, I mean, we fight. It's, I've talked about it. We're always, the standard is, fight back. We don't stop fighting until the game's over, and that's the positive take out of it. But the negative is directly related to that. We talked about starting fast, and we quite obviously did the opposite today. So, got to fix that. And you can't expect to beat teams of that caliber when you start slow like that.
Baker, you needed some quick scores in the second half to chip away at the deficit. You got that with the 70-plus yard touchdowns to Emeka and Bucky. Can you speak to each of those plays?
Yeah. Emeka did a hell of a job just on a play-action keeper, just his concentration through the catch. Blankenship was diving for it, so whatever you want to say, distraction drill, he focused through the catch and obviously extending it for a touchdown. Then Bucky's touchdown, really unbelievable job in pass protection by those guys, holding up for quite a while there. And he turned it upfield, knew he had an edge rusher outside linebacker on him, and he did a great job catching that ball and extending it for a touchdown as well. So our guys are going to fight. And, Levante hit on it post-game with everybody and couldn't have said it better myself. This group's too damn good to start slow, and until we take accountability to that, it should piss us off. Even though it's week 4, this should piss us off. We've talked about starting fast, playing better ball, and we did not do that today.
Baker, you've been limited during the week with the biceps. It seemed like early on, kind of just working that arm out. How much were you limited early, and how much were you able to get to yourself by the end of the game?
I was full go. It's just the way they were playing defense. They do such a good job of top down, not letting you take shots over the top. And that's just the way Vic coaches it, and those guys do a good job executing it. So whether it's more completions or just establishing the run game a little bit more and to be able to continue drives early on, got to be able to do that. But, yeah, it was full go.
Baker, how would you assess Chris Godwin being back out there today?
Thought he did great. I think he's only going to continue to get back to his true form. The more reps he gets, the more confidence he builds. But he's obviously a guy that we lean on in critical situations, a guy that plays a lot of ball, does unbelievable things for us, and, yeah, it was great to have him back.
And then having a fighter like Tristan Wirfs up front and kind of having the offensive line look more like it did last year.
Yeah, obviously great to have Tristan back. Just the leader, the caliber of player, and then obviously having Graham and Ben back in the correct spots, and just more continuity we can get up front. They're going to get better. So it is what it is, the loss today. But, yeah, we're starting to get some guys back, but we just got to play better. Got to play better.
Continuity grew throughout the game.
A little bit, yeah. But it goes back to we were just kind of lifeless to begin with in the first half. We got punched in the mouth going at halftime. Look at the scoreboard. You're like, all right, what are we going to do now? But we're too damn good to wait to get hit in the mouth. We got to come out swinging. We got to play better.
Did the long field goal kind of wake everybody up going into the half?
It was definitely a spark. Talked about being able to get us in scoring position, get some sort of momentum shift. And Chase obviously nailed a few of those long ones, so he did a great job. So, but yeah, little momentum, but like I keep saying, it's on me to get the offense going to start faster. We got to do that next week.
Baker, at 3-1 through the first quarter, what have you learned about this team? Where can you guys get better? How good can you get with getting some of the offensive linemen back in the next few weeks?
Yeah, taking care of the ball. When we took care of the ball, we were undefeated. When we didn't, we lost the game. And that goes for special teams as well. But I'm only going to speak to the offense. Is we got to execute. Got to be able to establish a run, and that's a good defense we played. We got to be able to sustain drives for Grizz, create the explosives when we need, and just continue to focus on the details and start fast. That's the goal.
Tristan serves as your blindside protector. He was kind of your bodyguard, enforcer today with not really scrap. Can you just speak to him wanting to come to your aid and kind of get right in the middle of it right away?
Our whole team is – if somebody's in a dark alley, the whole team's going to show up. That's just the way we're wired.
You talked a little bit about the interception. Could you talk about the fine line between trying to make plays like that?
I already hit on it. When you're in the red zone, there's obviously a one-score game. We're driving. We have momentum at that point in the game. Just got to be careful. Chris was there if I was able to get the right throw off, but if I'm not able to do that, just tuck it. Play the next down.
Was that because of your arm or just?
No, I just at that point just didn't get a good throw on it.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
That's something we'll figure out in the meetings. We'll look at the whole operation, how we're doing it and why we're doing it, and if we're doing it with the right people and if we're doing it with the right scheme, because that's 3 weeks in a row something went wrong, and we'll get that fixed.
Is your punter getting the ball off fast enough? It seems like he's got a little bit of a slower windup with his kicks.
Like I said, we'll get all that fixed. There's a lot going on special teams-wise, and none of it's good.
What would you say about the fight of the team today, Todd, overall?
I mean, the fight, you're going to have that every week, but you can't fight and get behind the 8 ball against good teams and expect to win. So we're always going to have fight, and we just got to clean up mistakes now. It's getting to that point where we got to cut them down.
Todd, the second half defense was incredible. What was the difference? Any halftime adjustments or just what was the difference?
Everybody doing their job. It was just discipline and doing their job.
Todd, you've gone 3 games with no turnovers offensively. To have the 2 there, some of that, I guess, is just trying to come back from a big deficit. What did you see on the 2 plays?
Obviously, he's got to take better care of the ball. Baker will be the first one to tell you that. And then we can't have the fumble with Bucky. And then if you had the block punt for 7 points, that's 3 turnovers. So you're not going to beat the Super Bowl champs turning the ball over 3 times.
Coach, could you talk about McLaughlin's 65-yard field goal, just sort of how impressive that is, especially for having multiple 55-plus yard field goals today?
I mean, he's come back from an early season slump, and he's been making some great kicks for us, and for him to hit that one was huge for us. We didn't know he had that in range. We thought he'd be close, but for him to hit that was big.
You had to have some chunk plays to get back in the game. Cam Johnson was able to do that with some punt returns. Can you speak to the job that he did today?
He got a big return for us in the second half. Like I said, we picked it up in the second half, but you can't get behind the 8 ball 14-0 and then expect to come back and win those type of ball games. But we did some good things. We understand that. We acknowledge that. But we're trying to win ball games here, so we got to be clean throughout.
Coach, I know it's a tough game, but can you talk about Chris Godwin's return to the field after such a long comeback?
I mean, it was just great to see him out there. It was to lift me up for everybody because Chris was one of the guys everybody likes, coaches and players. For him to be out there for his first time out and not having to go through training camp and everything, well, it was huge for us.
Todd, I know injuries are always going to be part of the game, but they're mounting, and it's almost like it's excessive on this team. You're wondering what's going on?
I mean, we had him last year too, so I mean, like you said, it's part of the game. The next guy's got to step up, and we got guys on this team that make it for a reason, and we expect them to do their job when they go in there.
Is there any verdict on Hassan Reddick's injury?
Not at this time.
No word on Gaines or Dean or Morrison?
Not yet, no.
How impressed are you with Ibuka after another great game?
He does what he's been doing all along. He's doing everything he did in college. The mental part of it, Quinion's a tough corner to match up against. They had some good battles, but he makes his plays, and he continues to impress every week.
Todd, at 3-1 in the first quarter on all the injuries that you've sustained, how do you feel about this team right now moving forward? What have they shown you? What are some of the positives, and what do you got to work on?
Like I said, number one, we're tough. We know we're tough. We're physically tough. We're mentally tough. We just got to be smarter. We got to be a smarter team, and we got to cut down on the errors. We got the first month out the way. Now those errors got to start to go down, and we can't beat ourselves.
What would you say about the pass protection overall, Todd, considering you got a reshuffled offensive line?
We got to block better. I mean, they had some pressure back there. They got a good defensive line, but they battled, and we'll see exactly where the problems came from. But they battled and won some. We battled and won some. We got to win more than they win.
How do you feel Tristan Wirfs looked like his first game back?
He was competitive. I mean, I didn't sit there and watch him the whole way through. I'll go over the tape and see how he did, but I know he's one of our best fighters.
Okay.